proud members of the Podbelly Network.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, come on, you know I don't watch that shit.
Why not? Too scared?
No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
Welcome to Kim and Ket Stay Alive.
Maybe
We are what
a
horror movie
comedy podcast.
And Kim is going to tell you the entirety of an entire movie today, spoilers and all. And I'm going to try.
Ketryn is going to try to stay alive.
Yeah.
Hi.
Ooh, this is we haven't recorded in
I don't know time, but it feels like
multiple weeks.
Feels like it's been a century at least. I don't even know what to talk about because there's so many huge, giant, massive things happening that I don't even know what subject to go into.
Yeah, it's just like such an intricately aflame dumpster fire that our world is right now that like I don't even know what thread to pull.
That's how I feel. That was a beautiful metaphor.
Yeah, it's just like somebody really laid out millions of hundreds of thousands of pieces of garbage in this really complicated, intricate prism of a design and then lit it ablaze and said, which part do you want to put out? Spoiler alert, it's all going to burn forever. Yeah. It's this has been I thought I'd gone through the 5 stages of mourning. I was incorrect. I have not. I'm feeling all of them right now.
All at once.
Yep. So there's that. We've really missed you guys though.
I have a lot. Yeah.
And I've really missed your face, Kim.
Oh, yours too. I mean, we've seen each other in the screens.
But I like seeing you in this context where one of us is going to tell the other one a story.
I agree.
And it's like reminds me of a normaler time.
I agree. I was thinking something that I think anyone who listens to this podcast knows exactly where the fuck we stand on most things in the world.
Yep.
Just in general. But I think if we ever do come out with any like strong statements on like this is how we feel, period, in case you were wondering, like there's no fallout for us.
No, it's incredible.
And I've seen it happen with some other people, specifically in the horror community, where people are getting mad at them for like, oh, is this political now and blah, 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 and all these things. And like, we receive no fallout. And that is because our listeners are fucking awesome.
Awesome. Like so incredible. It's I especially with what is going on. What am I even about to say? I was like, especially what's going on with this. But then I was like, or this, or this, or this, or any of the
all
things. But what's going on in the horror community right now, which I don't think we should go into like specific details of it. You can read about it. But like there's
some like
women in the
Me Too
community,
things happening, just to give you a topic.
Yeah, right. And Kim and I are so blessed that like we know that is a common culture, not just in the horror community, but still everywhere. And we haven't experienced it. So I don't know. And that's not because we're, that it's not real. It's just, we have created this really incredible Sammy army. And I guess you guys are just barricading us from all the trolls. So thank you.
So yeah, that's actually what I wanted to say was just thank you. Like, thank you for being awesome human beings, and just decent human beings. And
open-minded human beings. Like,
yeah, like honestly, like those are the people I want to be a Sammy, to be honest.
Yeah.
So thank you is what I
Yeah.
want to say to our listeners.
It is also what I want to say. Ketryn wants to say it.
And I am Kim.
Thank you.
Do we want to talk about... Okay, so should we... I don't know where to go, but I did want to, I guess, so like we've obviously like turned the mic off a little bit for the past 2 weeks or so to kind of like allow space for like Black voices and just education and things like that. And I think that's really important. But I, of course, like want to share like our experiences too, because that's what we do. And I think it is important to just share, I guess. Yeah. And we've had pretty different ones.
Yeah.
So I guess we can both maybe just share some stuff.
That sounds great. I love that. There's, I would love for you to share some of the stuff you learned like out in the streets at protests for this.
So like Ketryn's not able to go out because of COVID stuff. I live utterly alone and have been utterly isolated for months on end and don't have a job. And I don't know, whatever any other reason is that you might not go, I don't have it. So I've been going out.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of different experiences actually protesting and all pretty powerful. The first one I went to was run kind of more, I think No More Names is like what they're being called. Basically, I think it's on Instagram, but that's definitely like the hashtag and stuff. And so it was just really peaceful and beautiful. And we marched and then stopped at different places in LA, like the police department and city hall and things like that. And multiple times stopped and took a knee for 8 minutes and 36 seconds, 36 seconds.
46. Yeah.
And we're silent. And
It's a long fucking time.
It's a long fucking time. So that was in itself impactful. It's a really long time. And then to be doing that like within hundreds to thousands of people, it was just really impactful. And then even on the way home from that, I was waiting for an Uber and like saw that there was like 4 cop cars down the street somewhere. And I was like, what's going on there? So I like walked over and there were some Black men like being pulled over basically. And they had like zip ties around their wrists. So I just stood there and filmed it for 10 minutes. But there was a fuck ton of cops. Thankfully that ended peacefully and everyone went on their way. And then Black Lives Matter went live and was like, hey, what's up? We're at the mayor's house. And I like happened to be like 2 miles away. And so I was like,
yeah, so Eric Garcetti, Kim knows your address, bitch.
I fucking do. What is it? I'll share it right now. Apparently it's like, I only saw this in a comment somewhere, so I didn't fact check this, but it's kind of like the White House. Like it's not like his house. It's like the mayor's White House kind of thing. Like, so, boop, 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 boop. Oh, so I got there like pretty quickly. So like I was there and like right at that moment, of course there was a shit ton of cops there already. And they started doing that lineup thing like across the street and they were all in riot gear. And then like Black Lives Matter was just like, okay, like white people go take care of that. So like basically the idea is that white people put their white bodies in front of the police and separate them from the Black bodies. And so I was like, okay, like I went like right there. So it ended up like literally on the front line of that.
That was also where Kim gave me a full blown fucking heart attack. So she likes to leave that part out. She was filming it on her Instagram Live, and I was watching it. And for whatever reason, I'm watching her Instagram Live. I just see a line of cops directly in front of her in riot gear. And then the video just goes dead and starts looping that one part over and over and over again. So I had to text Kim and say, please let me know you're alive and weren't just murdered. Spoiler alert, she was.
Yeah,
alive.
Ketryn was a good protest safety buddy.
Yeah.
Because like the first one I went to, I was with friends, but everything after that, I was like alone. So, so that was impactful, but also we just like, it's like we sat there and, chanted and like gave protests and stuff. Mind you, the next day, the mayor made some fucking changes. So there is something that they say a lot, like, there's different like chants and stuff you do when you protest. And one of the ones that they do is like, when we fight, we win. And I love that because it's true. And it's like been proven over and over and over again in the history books and also currently. But like, it's not like we've won, it's like keep going. But like, it's help to keep going. And then the next one I went to is something that Black Lives Matter does every fucking week, and they've done it for years, and that is to go to the Hall of Justice where the DA, Jackie Lacey, works, which is like a block away from City Hall, and basically talk about so what this was, again, like because it was like a block from City Hall, I was like happened to get there pretty, like a bunch of people were at City Hall, but I was like, I don't think this is the right address. So like I went and found it. So I was like, again, like pretty close and like able to hear everything they were saying. So it was basically like a lot of like activists and liberators like giving a lot of amazing fucking inspiring powerful speeches, but they started with the families of people who've been murdered by police officers in Los Angeles, and it was just like one story after another of just like mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters like breaking down and just like telling this like horrific tale, and they were all completely different and completely like fucking heartbreaking. And I think it was like really important to hear that, and like say their names, and that to know that not a single one of those police officers has ever even like has had anything done to them at all whatsoever.
Nothing.
Yeah. So, that was just really, it was really impactful. And I think it's really important. And obviously like I'm an emotional person. So like that affects, like that's my way in a lot of times, personally. And, so yeah, like I think, and then we marched to City Hall, and then I was there forever, even after like Black Lives Matters, like kind of closed their part. And then we just like were there so much longer. And then like all 1 bajillion people like marched like through the streets of like downtown. It was definitely powerful. And,
can you share the quote that
I will?
Yeah.
So like some of just like the main things also that like I've gotten from it is definitely like, this is like I'm 100% down with like hashtag defund the police. And like, please, like, I think we've shared like what that is, exactly. Like it sounds, I think, scary, or some people are like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? And it's like, there's actually like a lot of detailed specific things about that, what that can mean. And mostly it's just that like you're putting our money, our tax dollars, it's our fucking money, into like community work instead of like just police, and not asking the police to like go help a homeless person because they don't help them.
No, and it's also not what they're trained for.
Exactly.
Like it's
a mental. someone who's having like a mental health breakdown or something. You know what I mean? We need people who are trained in that and like different community efforts and building the communities and things like that. So we won't need as many police officers and things.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's like
what
getting
people
to
don't
the
realize,
root.
it will actually make the police departments more efficient, less frustrating, like for them as well, that they're not having to spend their time, you know, answering these calls that they have no business answering. And why would they? Why would they know how to respond to a mental health crisis in someone?
Yeah, I'm very down with that. Especially in LA, like it was like 54% of the budget went to the police department. And that to me is abso-fucking-lutely insane. So if you live in LA, there is something called like the People's Budget LA. I definitely recommend like checking that out. And it's kind of all about like defunding the police and like putting it into like different important pots that will help people. So that was a lot of my experiences, just to share. I did tell, like, I have quite a few like on video that I haven't shared yet of people speaking, that I should, maybe put on Instagram. Like something that like, I think just helped Ketryn, you know, feel good about like not being able to go to the protest. So just if anyone else is like not able to, like one of the things, Black Lives Matter said was like, you know, it's important to be here. Yes. Like, because it shows the numbers, like it shows the support, like visually and things like that. But he was like, you know, this is the red carpet. Like, this is the PR. So the work is done at home. Like the work is like, you know, all the ways that we can like break down the system of things like that. And like the work within yourself, you know? Yeah. But yeah, like all the other things, the fucking emailing and calling and like, you know, like just educating yourself on the ways that you can help and stuff like that. But yeah, like that's like it has to continue like after you go home from the protest too, basically.
Right. And I loved hearing that. I actually am making a game time decision, Kim. I think I will share a little bit more of my experiences next week. And the reason for that is that there are so many things happening in the news, and this is really, and I don't mean this in a bad way, I'm glad that it's this, but like right now it's really trendy to have this be part of the conversation, which is great, but it needs to still be talked about even when it's not trending on Twitter.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I think I'm going to save some of my insights till next week. But the one thing that I did want to point out is like, I love what you were talking about where like when we fight, we win, or like the fact that like Black Lives Matter has been showing up at Jackie Lacey's office for years. And the one thing that I did want to share, and one of the reasons it was really hard for Eric that his health prevents him from going out is that several years ago, we were going to a lot of Black Lives Matter events when they were still perceived negatively because there wasn't enough information out there. And so these people, this is not new. They have been out there doing the fucking work for years.
Yeah.
And to see the public opinion of this group that has stayed the motherfucking same from minute one, the same, guys. The only thing that has changed is the media coverage conversation around them. But they've been there the whole time. And so they are indicative of exactly what they're saying. That if you persist and you persevere and you keep fighting, things happen and things change, just like their fucking reputation.
Exactly.
Where it's now cool and trendy to say BLM, Black Lives Matter. But they've been there the whole goddamn time.
Yeah, that was one thing I forgot to say is like from going to some different protests and then going to Black Lives Matter one, like they fucking know what they are doing. It was like, because I happened to like see kind of them work at different points, you know what I mean? And like literally moving entire crowds, just like turning people to the left, basically, even just to be like, okay, we're going to move here now. And we are going to like the one thing, actually, I will just maybe end on this, but like at the end of the night at the mayor's house, like that was one of the nights where there was like a 6 p.m. curfew. And they were like, you know, if you can stay, but like, if you can't, like, it's okay. Like, go and, you know, take care of yourself so you can come back tomorrow, you know? But he was like, I want you to look around, because eventually another protest like came and met up, like walked over to here. So it was like, it was just like, and then the police were blocking us all off at one part, and eventually they kind of let us all like congregate together. So they did have to like combine and take charge and move people. Like it was just like, they are fucking on top of it.
Yeah.
And they are so
incredible.
Fucking like, oh my God, they're like inspiring, and like just, I just like, I don't have the words, but like
they're incredible.
They're really, really, really incredible. And so at the end, he was like, if you do leave right now, I want you to look around. Like you can go north, you can go south, you can go west. He's like, all of those places are open to us. And he's like, why? Because we have occupied this space.
Wow.
We own this street right now. This
That's
is
incredible.
our street. Yeah. And I just thought that was really powerful. And then the fucking next day, changes were announced. I mean, more still need to be made, but it just shows.
Exactly.
It just shows. When we fight, we win.
Yeah.
So,
Cool. So I'll share some stuff from home next week. But
well, thank you guys
Kim-
for listening. Do you want to hear about a movie?
I desperately want to hear about a movie. I would like for story time, please. And thank you.
Yay. I'm excited. Well, this entire episode is just going to be Kim Burns talking.
Woohoo!
We just had 20 minutes of it. Get ready for 4 hours more. So I did a thing where
Okay.
this is apropos of nothing really, but I write my notes in notebooks, you know, and so I like
Sure.
go through them very quickly. Like I'm buying a lot of notebooks.
Sure.
So last time I was at the store, I was like, ooh, I'm going to get this like 5 subject notebook. Yeah, I'm
Whoa.
going to fit so much in here. And then it wasn't until like after I did my whole movie in it and I was like holding it, I was like, God damn, this notebook weighs like 10 pounds.
Oh, right. Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm like holding above my head this weighted book for 2 hours. I might have I've made a huge mistake.
Hello, biceps.
Hey, I was just off microphone getting some water.
Yeah. Oh,
Vagina holes out.
tits up. Clink.
I'm drinking an O'Doul's.
Hey, I'm drinking a Guinness.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yes.
Do you have any idea what I did?
I looked at the clue today and I have an idea.
So then you know.
I don't know. I maybe.
Okay.
Am I? Just say it.
It is the Invisible
The
Man.
Invisible Man. Yes.
I sent Eric the questions like yesterday and he sent back like an OMG emoji basically.
I'm so excited. I'm so stoked.
So this is the Invisible Man from 2020.
Yay! Now I can actually watch it with my own eyeballs after this. I'm going to get 2 viewings of it.
Yes. It's written and directed by Leigh Whannell. Not sure if I'm saying his last name right, but he wrote a fuck ton of things. He wrote Saw.
Oh, shit.
He's really like, and then of course that was directed by James Wan, and then same with like Insidious. But then he's an actor too, so he's like acted in a lot of his things. I don't think he acts in this, but yeah, he's like one of the like little geeky ghost hunter guys with glasses in the Insidious movies.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, did you know the novel of The Invisible Man was written by H.G. Wells?
I did not.
I did
not know that. I did not know it was a novel.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
apparently it's based on the novel by H.G. Wells.
You learn something every day, folks.
So here we go.
Great.
Dead or alive. Emily.
Alive.
James.
Alive.
I'm having a tough time with my book. Adrian.
Alive.
Sydney.
Dead.
Tom.
Dead.
Okay.
Shit. Okay. Here we go.
Are you ready?
I'm very excited.
I'm excited to tell you. Okay.
I'm kind of white knuckling my knees right now because I'm very excited.
So we start, it's nighttime, and it's just an ocean kind of like waving up against like rocks and cliffs, like a big cliff.
Yeah.
So it's just like in and out and stuff like that. And it's actually like cool. Like the water splashes up and then like invisible titles will like start to show. Or credits.
Oh, that's neat.
So then we get to see the invisible man. And then we kind of like on top of the cliff, we kind of see like one lone house basically like lit up probably. Cut to our girl, Elisabeth Moss.
Woo!
Asleep in bed. So we're just seeing like she's on her side. And so we're just seeing her basically. She opens her eyes, looks at the clock, 3:41 a.m.
3:41. Got it.
She like kind of pulls the blanket off very slowly. There's an arm around her and she slowly moves it off. And I was like, been there.
Been there. Yeah.
And then she slowly, quietly gets out of bed and then reaches underneath the mattress and pulls out a bottle of pills.
A meat tenderizer? Oh, sorry.
No, that's my mattress.
Right. Sorry. Okay. A bottle of pills.
She
Got
keeps
it.
pills under her mattress.
Okay.
Diazepam.
Ooh, that's a benzo.
It is a benzo. So, and then she whispers to the guy, Adrian. He's still asleep. So she picks up the glass of water next to his bed and puts a pill in it. And we can see that we're like in the house that's on the cliff. Like we kind of hear the water kind of.
So like it dissolves the pill.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
But this is like a big, one of those like big, very modern houses. You know, it's like all windows onto the cliff, but clearly expensive and stuff like that.
Yes. I remember that from the preview that it's just like a glass house basically.
Yes.
Or what it looks like. Yeah.
So she kind of tiptoes away. He tosses a little bit and she stops, but he's still asleep. And then she goes to the bathroom sink and pours the glass into it, the water.
Okay.
And then she goes into her closet. It's fucking huge. I wouldn't even call it a walk-in closet. I would call it another room that happens to be a closet where you put your clothes and things.
A clothes room.
It's a clothes room.
The bedroom for your clothes.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Got it.
And she like actually pulls out like a back panel, and then there's like a bag hidden inside.
Oh, this bitch. Okay.
And we see she has like her passport and like social security card and things like that in there. So now she like tiptoes through the house with like a little step stool, and she goes into the hallway right outside of the bedroom, and turns the security camera in the ceiling towards the bed, so it's directly on him. And then she looks on her phone, and she can see it on her phone.
Oh, this bitch is smart. Mm-hmm. Damn.
So then she tiptoes down the hall and like down the steps into a basement. And there's like, it's dark, but you can see like it looks like almost like human forms like in the distance. And she turns the light on and it's like kind of just like body suits like against the wall.
I'm sorry. No.
It's a very bright white. It's like a science lab basically.
Okay.
So yeah. She goes to a computer. She turns off all the security cameras except for the one that's on the bed now. She logs in and disables the alarm. And she kind of walks by like a machine like in a corner that looks like, have you seen Westworld?
Yes.
The machine that kind of looks like how they make the bodies or whatever.
Yes.
Like it's just like some poles kind of.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Just something like that, basically. She kind of walks by. And then she like is like tiptoeing through the house and bam! She accidentally kicks the metal dog bowl.
Oh, fuck me. God damn it.
And she checks the camera. He's still asleep. And she's just like, deep breaths. She then takes out of the bag sweatpants because she's wearing like a little nightie right now, you know. So, and she's putting on sweatpants and like the camera just kind of like pans slowly down to the hall and like just stares into the empty darkness. and it's just like tense music, and then pans back to her. She's in sweatpants now, and she starts going down the steps to the garage. And now she's the garage, and the door's open to like the outside world, and the dog comes up behind her.
I was like, just about to ask where, like, how she didn't wake the dog. Okay, keep going.
And she's like, Zeus, I'm so sorry, I can't take you with me. And she's like, gonna leave. And then she's like, oh, shoot, okay, but I can't leave this on. So she goes, he has like a collar that's clearly like an electric collar, like shocker or something like that. So she goes and like tries to take it off him, but it's like hard to disconnect. And as she's doing it, his little bum like hits the car, and the car alarm goes off.
No. I'm so tense. I'm so scared.
So she takes it off and she fucking runs through the yard and climbs the fucking wall that is like a concrete wall. Like this is just a compound that she is in.
How did she climb it?
Because it was like, you know, it's a fancy compound wall. So it has little pretty indents kind of.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Like decorative indents here and there. So she like throws her bag over and then like hops the wall and then starts running through the woods with a flashlight until she gets to a road. And she looks around and she's like, Emily, where are you? And then she kind of hears some noises in the woods. So she like looks with the flashlight. It's fucking creepy. She's looking around and then we start to see headlights in the distance. And she like goes towards like the car. She gets in, and as she gets in, like the pill bottle that was in her bag actually like falls out of the bag onto the ground. We see.
Okay.
So she gets in, and this is Emily basically, and she's like, Cecilia, what's going on? Are you okay? And so Elisabeth Moss's name is Cecilia, so I'm going to call her C. Cecilia, by the way, is the school I went to growing up.
Saint Cecilia's. I do recall this.
Cecilia's, the patron saint of music.
I was just about to ask what she was the saint of, and then you told me.
Well, we're connected. Our minds are melded.
Yep.
But C is just like, Emily, I'll explain later. Just go. And so we're like looking POV from like the driver's seat towards her. And so
POV. Oh, so like we're her friend.
We are her friend. So we're looking at her. She's looking at us being like, just go. And then we start to see out of the darkness of the woods, a man come running up and yells and bangs on the fucking door. And he's like, open the fucking door. And then he smashes his hand through the window and fucking grabs her neck. And so
oh my God,
they start driving, but he runs along with them. And it's just like, open the door, get back here, open the fucking door. Until they drive until they get too fast and he has to let go.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah. So then he walks back and he sees the pill bottle.
Just so you know, I would come and pick you up and I would absolutely meat tenderize him directly to the face.
Oh, fuck like, yes, girl.
I would want him to break the window so that I could meat tenderize his head.
Me too.
Yeah.
As would I.
Yeah.
So he sees the bottle of pills and he like picks it up with his now bloodied hand.
Sure.
Now we see 2 weeks later on screen.
Okay.
So Cecilia is Cecilia is
patron saint of music. Yes, got it.
Do I just call her the patron saint of music all episode?
Yeah.
Oh, we're only 2 minutes in. So the patron saint of music is staring out the window of some home, and this guy walks into the living room, and he is so hot. Just
ooh,
so hot.
Do we know him from something?
He, I guess, is in Leverage, which I don't watch. But he was.
They're bringing that back, actually.
Oh, I didn't even know it was gone. I didn't know
and they're bringing
anything
it back
about
with,
it.
And they're bringing it back without Timothy Hutton because Timothy Hutton is a piece of shit. Actually,
didn't know that either.
I guess Leverage was actually. I didn't watch it, but like it was actually apparently like a pretty popular show, like one of those crime-solving shows, and he was the lead. And so they're rebooting it. The entire cast is coming back except for Timothy Hutton, who is the lead.
Fucking good.
And I was like, me too, bitch.
This needs to happen more. Yes.
Hashtag me too, not like me
if
too.
you're
I'm
a
also
dick,
not coming
you're
back.
out of your job. That's just the way the world needs to work from now on.
Agreed.
That's just how it's happening. If you're a racist, you're a fucking sexual harasser, you're a fucking just dickhead, you're out of your job, bitch.
You're fired. You're fired.
We're firing
why are we
you.
talking about Timothy? Why?
He also, I know him from, he played MC Ren in Straight Outta Compton. But,
okay. Yes.
He's just a tall,
soup sexy
black man that has
you want in your pants.
Puts on a button-up shirt that like you can see his arms through, not in like a Hulk Hogan too bulky way, but just in a delicious, hot like man way.
Does he roll them up 3/4 sleeves over his
probably
forearms?
You know, he's
Oh,
when he's working.
Hi.
He's getting down to business in my vagina. Anyway,
what's our podcast?
He's hot. I guess it's pretty early in the morning or something, or you know. So she like is like, I guess he's like, why are you here? Why? What's going on? She can't sleep. I wrote down she can't sleep. I think that's what they're talking about.
Okay.
And she's just staring out the front window though. And he's like, I swore to your sister that I would get you to step outside this house. You know, so, and he's like really sweet to her. He's like, look, he's not here. He's not out there. I promise.
Oh.
And cut to the front door opening from the outside, and Patron Saint of Music very tensely walks to the mailbox and like gets to the mailbox, and then a jogger kind of like all in black with like a hood on comes like running up behind her. So she like runs back inside and she's fucking terrified.
Oh my God.
And she's just like, I'm not ready yet. And
Poor thing.
His name is James. And he's like, well, that's the furthest you've gone so far. So as far as I'm considering it, like, as far as I'm concerned, you've just walked on the moon.
That is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
So he's also a wonderful man and person. So James is now painting the wall of like the living room or something, like on a ladder. And Cecilia is looking on the computer, and she's looking at like an article that's like, are you being watched? And then she like grabs nail polish off of like the table in front of her, and she like puts the nail polish over the camera in her like laptop.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, you know, that's where she's at.
But then how do you have Zoom calls with your best friend?
I guess they weren't in the pandemic yet.
Oh, right.
So now the doorbell rings. She's concerned. He goes to get it. It's Emily. And they have a cute interaction. Like, he's like, do I know you? Do I owe you money? Like, what are you doing here?
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. And they go inside, and he's like, see, tell her she can't take you back. But Patron Saint of Music is like pissed. So they're sisters. And she's like, what are you doing here? Like, he knows where you live. He will follow you. She's like, I have a plan. I need you to. And Emily is there because he's dead.
What?
And so,
okay, so wait. Okay. So Emily and Patron Saint of Music are sisters.
Correct.
Okay. James, I thought, was Emily's boyfriend.
As far as I can tell, he's just a friend of everyone, but
just a mutual friend of everyone. Okay. Now this is making more sense to me. Got it.
Yeah. It's hard to tell what their background relationship was, but it seems just friendly amongst everyone.
Okay. Cool.
But also, this comes out at a certain point of time, so I don't think it really matters. But he's a detective also, so I think like he's like a safe place. You know what I mean?
Place to be,
especially. Yeah. So yeah. Beep boop 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 beep boop boop ba boop boop. Oh, he's dead. And so she shows her the article on her phone, and it says, "Optics groundbreaker dead of apparent suicide."
Oh shit. Okay.
And so Emily's sister is like, what did he do to you? Like, can you talk to me?
Okay. So she like didn't even. Okay. All right.
And so patron saint of music just walks away and fucking goes to the bathroom and sits on the floor and stares.
Oof. This is where we're going to say #therapy. It sounds like she's got some things that she needs to work out.
She's had some major trauma.
Yeah.
So a little bit later, the three of them are at the table and patron saint of music is like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, he's in complete control of everything, including me. He controlled what I wore, what I ate, when I left the house, what I said, and eventually what I thought.
Wow.
And if he didn't like what he assumed I was thinking, he and James was like, would hit you. And she said, amongst other things.
What is happening? Oh my God. How do you control what someone thinks?
So
I have so many bad thoughts all the time.
It was bad. Shit was bad. So she tells him that he wanted a baby and that she knew if they had a baby, she could never get away. So she started taking birth control without him knowing it. But she's like, obviously that could only go on for like so long. So that's why she called Emily.
Oh, wow. Wow. Ladies, IUDs last for 10 years.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe look into those if you're with an abusive, terrifying person.
But also call us and we'll
come get you.
Out.
Yeah. We'll come get you armed with meat tenderizers. Edward meat tenderizer hands over here.
Yes. Edward meat tenderizer hands. Bam, 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 bam. Fuck you, abuser. Bam, bam. Oh my God. That would be
so fun.
I am in for that. I'm
in.
Down for that.
Wait, I kind of want to film one of those like lawyer commercials that's like, are you stuck with an abuser? Call meat tenderizer hands. And it's like you and me standing back to back in suits, but with meat tenderizers for hands.
Yes.
Great. We're filming it. Done.
So Emily's like, you're here with us now and you're safe. He's gone. So now we see later, patron saint of music slowly walks to the mailbox, and inside James and his teen daughter, who is Storm Reed. She was in
she was in
the movie
Wrinkle
with
in Time.
Wrinkle in Time. Yes.
Yep. She's great.
She's very, very good.
Yeah.
And so they're talking about her wanting to go to Parsons Fashion School.
Okay.
And basically it's like her dream school. It's the only one she wants to go to. And he's like, I want you to like, have a couple dreams, like think of some options and stuff like that,
Whew, that one hit home.
So
acting's your only dream? Really, honey? That's it? That's all you want to do? Are you sure?
Well, I think he mostly just wanted her to have some other school options. And she's
sure,
nope,
sure.
that's the one.
Got it.
So at that moment, patron saint of music walks in and lays the mail on the table. Just like, bam.
Oh, yay. Good job, honey.
And they're all like, yay. And like, and they like fist bump and stuff. And so James is looking through the mail and there's a letter for patron saint of music. And she's like, no one knows I'm here.
Oh, fuck balls.
And so she opens it and they're like, who's it from? Cut to, we see some visuals of the Golden Gate Bridge. We're clearly in San Francisco. Spoiler alert, that's where the Golden Gate Bridge is.
Got it. Thank you.
We're now in like this office building at a big table. So it's Emily's sister and patron saint of music with some dude in a suit.
Okay.
Turns out he is Adrian's brother.
Okay.
And he's a lawyer, so he has the will.
Okay.
But he's like, Adrian wanted me to read a statement to Cecilia. And he starts reading it, and fucking Emily stops him, and she's like, no, we don't have to listen to this. He's like, but it's in the, and she's like, email me a copy. I'm sure we'll read it.
Oh my God, I love Emily so much.
Yeah, so she like defends her because fuck that piece of shit.
Yeah. You don't get to have the last word, motherfucker, from beyond the grave. Fuck you.
Some more fucking abuse from beyond the grave.
Yeah.
Meat tenderized. So the brother kind of hints that, like, you know, Patron Saint of Music was in it for like the money, like everyone else in his life, and they, I don't know, basically say something about like his urn of his ashes is like in the office on the wall over there, basically. So we see it.
Wow. Okay.
But she is now getting $5 million.
Cool. Great. I'll take it. Goodbye.
She's going to get $100,000 a month for like, 4 or 5 years or so.
Great.
Obviously, there's stipulations, like you can't commit a crime and things like that.
Sure.
And so she just like stares like stunned at the papers.
I have none of that in me, by the way, where there are people who are like, I don't want your money. I'm like, no, I want your money. Like, I'm going to use it for good. Like, no, like, give me your money.
I was going to ask that question, actually.
No. Like, I would take that money, no problem. I'm like, let me turn the money into good / for me. Fuck you.
Hell yeah. We need more good people with more money.
Exactly.
So, cut to later in the house, she's surprising James and Sydney. And basically she's like, has them close their eyes and like come in, and she's like, ta-da! And it's like a new ladder. And like James is like, oh my God, thank you so much. And Storm, Sydney is like, thanks. And he's like, what?
Thanks for a ladder?
And he's like, you better say thank you. Like he's like a good dad.
Yeah.
And like, she's like, I just want to say like, thank you for letting me stay here and for taking care of me. And then it gets like real cute and jokey. And she's like, you know what ladders are good for? They're like good for reaching things. And like, oh my gosh, what is that on the top shelf of the thing over there? Maybe Sydney could use this ladder to go get that maybe. And
oh my God, that's so cute. What a great
just
idea.
Like, oh, weird, huh? And she goes and opens it. It's a new bank account with her name on it, Sydney's name on it. And it has $10,000 in it. And she's like, I'm going to put $10,000 a month in it for a year. And she's like, I call the account Parsons.
Wow, that is so beautiful. It makes me want to sing to honor the patron saint of music. That's amazing. Wow, that's amazing.
So she is a true patron saint of music. They're all happy and they're like, and she's like, I'm going to fashion school, and they celebrate, and she has a bottle of champagne, and it's all just very cute. And at this point, we do have like a weird camera shot of like looking at them, but from like down the hallway, like around the corner of down the hall, but like seeing them kind of celebrate and stuff.
Okay.
So cut to later, the patron saint of music is in her basically room there. But it's just like kind of the office space, but she has like a place to like hang clothes. So she's pulling out like a dress that she just like clearly bought from shopping, and the camera again kind of like just pans over to like nothing. And then she hangs up that dress, and she goes back and pulls out another dress. And then all of a sudden she like turns around behind her with like concerned face, but there's nothing there. But she's like a little panicky little breaths kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. She can feel something in the room.
Something, yeah.
Okay.
And so now it's morning, and patron saint of music is cooking eggs and bacon on the stove. And James is going to work. He's talking about how he's like a little hungover from the champagne, but he'll be back around 7.
What an adorable little lightweight.
I know.
So cute.
And so patron saint of music goes to wake up Sydney, and the camera doesn't move. It stays on the kitchen the entire time. So we stay right there. So she's like chopping mushrooms with a big giant kitchen knife. And then she leaves to go wake up Sydney. And the knife kind of like falls off the counter a little, or moves basically. And then the fire of the stove, like the electric gets like really high, and then the pan starts to smoke, and then the pan catches on fire. At this point,
damn it.
At this point, the girls run in, so they just see it's on fire, and Sydney like puts it out with a fire extinguisher from under the sink.
Sure.
And kind of are like saying, you know, she's a bad cook, pretty much.
Yeah. That's hard to set a pan on fire. Even if you turn the fire all the way up. That's tough to do. Interesting. Might be some faulty pan situations happening.
Time for new pan, ladies.
Yeah.
So now it's nighttime. We're in the house and kind of just like moving throughout it. The camera is. And we get to Painter Shade of Music, who's like on the couch in her room on the computer. The camera kind of just looks at her like from the doorway. And then she looks with like concerned face at the doorway, but it's empty.
But there's nothing. Right. Okay.
But she's like, James? And she gets up and looks in the hallway. Again, it's kind of like nighttime. It's empty. And then she like peeks around a corner, goes into the living room. It's all dark and empty. She looks around, turns on a light, keeps looking around. She like slowly goes to the kitchen, turns on the light there, looks around some more. And then we see behind her, and she turns to look. The front door is wide open now.
No, I want that to be closed.
Question number 1. What do you do and what does she do?
Okay, so I'm in the kitchen. Where is my phone?
I don't know. It's a big open floor plan too. Like it's just one big open room basically.
Okay. I am going to grab my phone. Like if we don't know where it is, then for my answer, I'm going to say I'm going to grab my phone, and I'm actually going to run out the front door, out into the street, calling 911. I would much rather be completely paranoid and insane than unsafe. So that's what I'm going to do. And then as soon as I get off the phone with the police, I'm going to call James or my sister. What does she do? She's so paranoid, but also like the thing that she's scared of is dead. Does she close the door and look around the apartment?
That is half a point.
What? Okay.
I don't know.
For me or her?
For you.
Okay.
I guess I don't like know fully, but I don't know. For me, I want to say to like be with people. I don't know. That's maybe I don't know the exact answer for this. This is just my own interpretation of the best choice.
But isn't she home alone?
No, she lives with James and Sydney.
Oh, I won't go back. For some reason, I was thinking she was home alone by herself. And that's why I did that. I would have done something totally different if I had picked up. But that's fine. It's fine.
Because she says, James at one point.
Right. I thought she was like, are you home? Like, that's what I thought was happening.
It's like the middle of the night, as far as I could tell.
Okay. Yeah.
So or maybe not middle of the night, but it was nighttime. So it just like, again, I don't know, but like I assumed that they were just asleep.
Gotcha. I just misunderstood. So that's fine.
Well, I'll consider a half point bonus point somewhere in advance, maybe somewhere else.
Okay.
And if you do really bad, I'll just give you a half point.
Thanks. I appreciate the pity.
This is definitely like one of those ones where it's like your answer is going to be hard to tell a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes. So she goes to the door and she looks out onto the porch and it's super fucking cold. She actually like walks out onto the porch and like stands there and like looks up and down the street. And it's like clearly cold. She has like her arms up and it's like she starts breathing and you can see her breath actually.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's just, it's a very quiet street looking around. But we see behind her is breath, cold breath coming.
No. Goodbye. See you later.
And then she goes back inside and locks the door.
But she didn't walk into anything? Into anything that was breathing? Okay.
No.
Okay. So am I nuts or what? Okay.
But she didn't see it.
Right. No,
So-
I'm wondering if I'm nuts, if she's nuts, if you're nuts. Who's nuts?
Who's nuts?
Me.
We're all nuts.
We're all nuts. Okay.
Nuts. Meat tenderizer smash. So
Wow, what a cool jingle for meat tenderized peanuts. That
I'm
cool
sure
product.
your crows will love them.
They will.
So we're in bed. You're in bed. They're in bed. Clearly,
Who?
okay.
Who's in bed?
She's in bed. Patron is in bed.
Okay.
She sleeps in Sydney's bed though, together.
Okay.
Because where she keeps her stuff is more like a couch room office space.
Got it.
So she's asleep.
I'm keeping my things in the couch room.
Sydney's asleep together in the same bed.
Yeah.
And the blanket is slowly pulled off.
That's your favorite thing, Kim. That's your favorite thing.
No! It's right up there with crawling on the ceiling.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the thing that scares you the least. You're totally chill with it. You have no problem with covers being slowly pulled off you. It's totally fine.
Because it's like it makes you like it takes off. It's like your blanket's like your protection, and it takes it away, and then you're just left vulnerable and open to ghosts.
Yeah, it also makes you chilly willy.
They're cold. We haven't seen any ceiling crawlers in a long time. I feel like.
No, we have not. I'm going to Google my next movie. What movie has ceiling crawlers in it?
Great. I'm sure it'll be 9%.
Yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes.
So the light flickers. Okay, the blanket gets pulled off. They're still asleep, and then like the light starts to flick on and off. Basically, like it's
Okay.
just like flash on, flash on, flash on. And at this point, Patron Saint of Music kind of turns over and opens her eyes, and she looks, and there's like a figure at the end of the bed, and so she sits up, but it's like a fashion mannequin. That
Fuck
Storm
these
has in
fucking
her room.
mannequins. I am banning all mannequins in rooms that are dark. Banned. White supremacy, racism, no people not wearing masks, and mannequins in dark rooms.
You
Banned.
heard it here first.
Yeah.
So Sydney's still asleep, but Patron Saint of Music kind of starts to look around for the blanket, like where the fuck is it? So she gets out of bed and she sees it on the floor at the bottom of the bed.
Okay.
So she picks it up, and then she kind of turns behind her, and there's like this like red kind of like velvet chair, and she just stares at it. It's empty. And she walks towards it and throws the blanket over it.
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
So she takes a breath, and she kind of just grabs a piece of the blanket and starts like dragging it back to bed, and then it stops. The blanket's like stuck.
What?
And
On
she
what?
pulls,
What are you stuck on?
and it won't move. And
What?
we can't see anything on it, but it won't move. And then she's just standing there like holding it as it's like stuck on the floor. And then we slowly see footsteps step onto the blanket closer and closer to her. And then it yanks the blanket away from her, and she falls back. Question number 2. What do you do, and what does she do?
Jump out the window. Okay. I am going to wake up Sydney, get her out of bed, run into James's room, run out of the house. I'm out of here, but I'm bringing people with me. And then tell them everything that happened. Okay. What does she do? So she's like fallen over, right?
She just kind of like, yeah, like it got yanked away. So she kind of just fell backwards kind of a little into it.
I think she wakes up Sydney as well. I'm not sure what she does with her though. And she wakes up Sydney, like wakes up the house to be like, something is in here with us.
She wakes up the house?
Yeah.
Meaning?
Like Sydney and James.
Okay.
No, like she wakes up the house, like the studs, the bricks and mortar, the ceiling, the floor.
You're a bitch.
Thank you.
She is like, James. And he comes running in and turns on the light. And she's like, I saw something. She's like, I saw footprints in the sheets. I saw them, like someone's in here. And
she sounds nuts. Like I can hear it.
Sydney wakes up and she grabs the pepper spray out of her nightstand.
Ooh, this bitch. Okay.
And James is like, put that away. Like, who are you going to spray? Who are you going to spray? And
who are you going to spray? Ghostbusters. So sorry.
And so you
see
can see
myself
yourself out.
Yeah.
And the Patron Saint of Music is like, I saw it. And James just kind of like looks at her and he's like, Adrian will haunt you if you let him. Don't let him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like, you know, you have an important job interview tomorrow. Don't let this motherfucker. And then he like looks over at Sydney and he's like, this person ruin it.
What a good dad.
I love him. He's like, I think just his entire person in this movie like made him just the hottest.
Yeah.
Because he's just so sweet. And so cut to her at her job interview. And she's talking about after Cal Poly, she worked in Paris and it seems to be like kind of going well. And so they sit down and like, he's like, okay, like, let's see some of your work. It's for architecture basically. And so she pulls out her portfolio and she opens it. It's empty.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh no.
Who took my stuffs?
So the portfolio. I'll start over. So the portfolio is empty. God damn it. So the portfolio is empty.
Got it.
She gets flustered and he's like, it's okay. I mean, just like send it to us. And he's like, let me tell you a little bit about the company, blah, blah, blah. And at this point, she kind of starts to like zone out a little bit. It's like we're like not hearing him talk as much anymore. And it's kind of like, and like, she's like breathing heavy. And he's like, are you okay? Do you need water? And she like stands up and then passes out.
Oh, no.
So now we're at the hospital and she's just like sitting in the hallway. And the doctor tells her that she seems fine, but, you know, like don't operate heavy machinery or anything like that. But we're going to call you with the blood test results.
Okay.
So now we cut to her in the shower. She gets out and puts on a towel like a perfectly normal human being.
Good to know.
You under your armpits, the way that all fucking sane.
I'm glad we're not in some sort of insane alternate universe. Yeah.
Not
Jesus
around your
Christ.
fucking waist like a non-boobed person.
Can you imagine what we would do if we were like on a sink trip and like saw one of the girls like put their towel on like that? Like we'd be like, we need to get to the hospital immediately.
We'd be like, demon.
Yeah.
Demon.
It would be like emergency time for sure.
Yeah. We don't see her boobs. She just puts on a fucking towel because she got out of the shower like a normal fucking person. And she, the phone starts ringing in the house, but just it's kind of like right out of the room outside of the bathroom. So she goes and picks it up. It's the doctor's office. And they're like, we have the results. And they're like, it turns out the diazepam was the cause of your fainting. And she's like, what? And like she starts to kind of walk back into the bathroom at this point. And, you know, I guess they say basically it's like, yeah, the diazepam in your system, da-da-da-da-da. And on the sink, sitting right out front on the sink, is the pill bottle.
Okay.
And she goes and picks it up, and it's her pill bottle with like blood marks on it.
What?
Question number 3. what does she do kind of next in general? It doesn't have to be like in this exact moment. Like, what does she like do from here? And what do you do?
Okay, so what I'm getting is that diazepam, it's not something she takes every day, correct?
I wouldn't think so because she dropped that pill bottle.
She dropped the pill bottle. Yeah, where did she drop it again? She dropped it on the ground outside of the car. Fuck. Yeah. I'm going to put it into a plastic bag and I'm going to give it to James and be like, detectivize this for fingerprints. What does she do? I just don't know how like terrified or rational she is. Like, I feel like I'm not sure like how clearly she's actually thinking. You know what? Let's do that hand in hand.
Point for you. I like that idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's fucking detectivize this.
Let's just fucking get this out in the open. Whose goddamn fingerprints are on this bottle?
Cut to her at the brother lawyer's office.
Okay.
James is with her and they sit down and she's like, tell him to stop. And the brother's kind of looking at James like, what the fuck? And he's like, look, I'm not sure why we're here, but she must have a good reason. So show her some respect.
Okay. I love you, James.
I love
you so much.
So much.
I'm
marry
desperately
me.
in love with you. I'm inviting you into our marriage.
I
Don't
know.
worry, I'll talk to Eric. It's fine.
James is becoming, even especially retelling the story to you, I'm like, James is quickly becoming my dream man.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, Patron Saint of Music says that one night she was thinking and planning on how to leave Adrian. And he was staring at me, studying me. And without me saying a single word, he said that I could never leave him. That wherever I went, he would find me. And he would walk right up to me and I wouldn't be able to see him. But he'd leave me a sign so I knew he was there.
What the fuck balls?
And then
This guy sucks. This guy really
Yeah.
sucks.
You know who's not my dream man?
Adrian.
So then she pulls out the pill bottle and she kind of tells the story of like losing the bottle that night and then like finding it in the bathroom. And the brother lawyer is like, so what, you like lost a bottle and then you found the bottle?
You fucking asshole. Listen, lawyer bitch. Be more like James, you piece of shit. Okay.
What would James do?
What would James do?
WWJD.
It's still WWJD. All right. Well, there we go. We don't have to change any of the bracelets. We just know what it means.
It's just the Patron Saint of Music and WWJD.
Yep. Got it.
So she's like, he's not dead. And the brother's like, well, that pile of ashes in the box over there would say differently.
Can the pile of ashes talk?
That's the correct response, Ketryn. Thank you.
I really wish Elisabeth Moss had just done that.
More people need to do that in movies in general.
I love it.
It's just the real response. So she says, he's figured it out. He figured out a way to be invisible. He was a world leader. What's happening? She's putting like a weird animal in the screen. Got me scared. What is that little snake lizard guy? Oh,
It's Bruni from Frozen 2.
Oh, very cute.
When it came on screen, it made me cry, and Eric ordered it from Amazon for me to be there the next day.
Aww.
That's my little buddy. Okay,
That's
keep
very
going.
sweet.
I just wanted to creep Kim out in the screen.
It did. It scared me because it caught me off guard, and there's suddenly something new in screen very slowly. What the fuck was I saying? She says that he's figured it out. He figured out a way to be invisible. He was a world leader in the field of optics.
Okay.
So-
All right.
You know, but he's not dead. We just can't see him. So please tell him to stop. And at
Okay.
this point, James kind of just like stares at her a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I love you, but you might be cuckoo bananas.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so now the brother says that Adrian was brilliant, but not for his inventions. He was brilliant for how he got into people's heads. Like, he knew people's weaknesses. And he's like, the perfect way to torture you is not inventing a way to be invisible. It's making you think that he did.
Now I'm all confused.
And he's like, look, Adrian controlled me. I hated him. Like, we have that in common.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And he's like, I was relieved when he was dead. And then
All
he
right.
pulls out like a manila envelope and kind of like halfway pulls out pictures, and we can like get a quick glance of maybe like the back of like a bloody head or something, but that's kind of it. And we're like, and he's like, the brother says that he's gone. I saw his body. Don't let him win by bringing him back to life.
Okay.
Cut to Patron Saint of Music now in an apartment building that we haven't seen. She knocks on the door. Sister Emily opens it, and she is pissed.
Oh, okay.
And she
Who's she
starts
pissed at?
going off on Patron Saint, being like, how suffocating I am to you, and all these other things that you like. Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, look, I never expected any of that money. Okay. And Patron Saint of Music is just like, what's happening? And she's like, the email that you sent me this morning. And Patron Saint of Music's like, what email? And she's like, if that's how you feel, don't come to me to bail you out of your personal life anymore.
What the fuck?
And Patron Saint of Music is like, I didn't send that. Like, he's doing this. And her sister's just like, who? Adrian? Okay, Adrian sent me the email. Okay, great. She's like, you need medication. Adrian is dead. And she closes the door.
Kim, if you tell me that an invisible man that was once your boyfriend, from whom I had to rescue you, is now not dead and invisibilizing your life, I will believe you.
That's how I felt. I did think this was a plot hole because I would fucking feel the same way.
Yeah. Like, and also, like, it's weird to, like, if I directly confronted you about an email that you sent me that was fucked up, like, it would be weird if you were like, what email? Like,
Yeah.
if anything, your response would be like, listen, maybe I was a little harsh, or no, that's actually how I feel. But to be like, what email? I'd be like, okay, there's something else going on here. Like, either you're insane, which I will
exactly
help
gonna
you
be-
with.
Exactly. Like, I was like, even if I think that you're just fucking nutso now and you did send the email, but you're like,
Yeah.
need medication, then I would like help you get medication because you're my fucking
Exactly.
sister.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I did think that was like a little bit of a too far of a jump, but that's her reaction. She's
Sure.
goodbye.
Yeah.
I mean, I think maybe it's like because of, Patron Saint of Music being basically like imprisoned in her home. It sounds like maybe they didn't have the closest relationship.
That was what I just this second thought, actually, that like maybe this is not a Kim and Ketryn situation where
Right.
it's like we've been in each other's lives, so like disruptions of the pattern are obvious, whereas like
Right.
for her sister, she's like, I don't really know what you've been up to for all these years or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it seems like
All right.
maybe they haven't been in touch much. So
Okay.
now Patron Saint of Music goes home and she's checking her email and the sent emails, and it's there. And it's like
Okay.
this big long email and says things like, I don't want to know you anymore. I wish you had died instead.
Oh,
and
God.
Things like that. And then she just like starts to cry and like lays on the floor and cries. And I was like, been there.
Been there just a few minutes ago, actually. The world is an intricate dumpster fire. Okay.
And so Sydney kind of like slowly comes in and turns on the light, and she kneels down next to her. And Patron Saint of Music is like, it's okay, and Sydney says, you know what you need? And she's like, a girls' night. We can eat cake
Aw.
and like,
Oh,
and
I
it's
thought she was
cute.
going to say my dad's sweet ass.
Yes. You need a good dickin'.
Yeah. Maybe that's not how children talk, though.
Probably not,
Possibly.
but like she wouldn't be wrong. Get that
No, she wouldn't.
oxytocin, like, ooh.
Right? That vitamin D?
Yes. So she suggests eating cake.
Sure.
Have a girls' night. And so Patron Saint of Music is still laying on the floor, and like Sydney's kind of just like knelt down kind of next to her. So Patron Saint of Music like smiles, and she's like, yeah, like I like cake and it's sweet. And so Sydney now kind of like puts her head down to like start to get up, and Patron Saint of Music is getting up, and in that moment Sydney gets knocked onto the floor.
No.
And Patron Saint of Music is like, oh my gosh. And she like goes to her and she's like, are you okay? And Sydney freaks out and like backs away, and she's like, stop. And she starts screaming for her dad. And he comes in and she's like, she hit me.
What?
Because her head was down. Like she was like kneeling down, and then she just got knocked to the floor.
Oh, fuck. God damn it.
Like,
all right. Yeah.
And so, and then Patron Saint of Music is just like, no, I would never do that. I love you. Like it was him. And James is like, enough. Like right now, my priority is getting my baby girl somewhere safe. So he takes Sydney and starts to like walk out of the room, and like Patron Saint of Music just starts following them through the house, and she's like, this is what he wants. Like this is what he did when we were together. He isolates me to get me alone. Like this is what he does. And James says to her,
fucking terrifying.
Mm-hmm. He says, you need to calm down. You're scaring my daughter. Go to your sisters because you don't need to be here right now. And they leave.
What a good dad.
I know. Question number 4. What do you do? What does she do?
He says to go to her sisters.
Because he doesn't know about the email.
I think was she like, what happened to his house?
They're inside it? Well, she's inside it?
No. Adrian's house. It's still okay.
I mean, it's just empty.
All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my sister's house and really try to plead my case and say, come with me to where we used to live. Like, I want to see what's there. Like, I don't believe that he's dead, but I am not going to go alone. And I think she does one of those two things. I think she goes to the house because she is not going to try and get her sister.
Point for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, your sister seems pissed, but I think we need people on our side.
Yeah, if all he does is try to get you alone, then don't be alone.
So they leave, and she immediately looks around and she says, where are you? Come on. Come on. Don't hit a little girl. Hit me. Come on out.
Oh, wow.
She's a real like fucking Sydney on the porch moment from Scream. Like,
yeah. Sydney on the porch moment. I love it.
Without the nose picking, but
Sure.
She goes in the kitchen and grabs a knife, and then she grabs some coffee grinds, and she goes into her office room, and it's wood floor, and she sprinkles out the coffee all across the floor, and then just sits in the corner.
Okay.
And stares at the door.
I see where she's going here.
So cut to a little bit later, still sitting there. She just starts talking. She's like, so why me, Adrian? Like, you could have any woman you wanted. That's what money and power buy you, right? People. She's like, why me? Like, I'm just like a suburban girl who stumbled into your life at a party. Like, can't you just forget I ever existed? There's nothing left for you to take. You've taken it all. And I just fucking love Elisabeth Moss.
I love her so I can like see her doing this, and it's just like, she's so fucking incredible.
She's so incredible and so good at playing like traumatized.
Yeah.
And like
it's true.
just being
She
intense. Is. Like, there's always like, she just doesn't have to do much with her face, and there's so much going on inside her.
Yeah.
All
Agreed.
of the time.
I just choose to believe that she's not a creepy Scientologist. That's just what I choose to believe.
Yeah, I don't know that. I mean,
Oh.
I do know that, but I know she was born into it, so I like to believe that maybe that's like, she didn't choose it. So
Yeah.
maybe she's not really into it the way I was
Like
a Catholic.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with that as well. I
But
like that.
Don't know.
I don't either. Yeah. Okay.
Well, way to ruin it. Thanks. I like
Sorry.
to think of her more as the patron saint of music.
As do I. And it's how I'll think of her from this day forward. So the patron saint of music sings Little Mermaid.
Yes.
All right. Cool.
Okay. So she's fucking sitting there, nothing's happening. And then she thinks of something. What does she do, and what do you do? She has a light bulb moment, if you will. What is her light bulb, Ketryn? Question number 5.
I am going to... Has she emptied all the coffee grounds onto the ground? Like, where are the coffee grounds?
Yeah, they're all over the ground in front of her.
There's none left?
No.
But she's talking to a space in the room.
She's just talking at nothing.
I am going to take a page out of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer book, and I'm going to get some spray paint. Stay with me. And I'm going to carry around spray paint, and every time that I feel something near me, I'm going to spray the paint and see if it sticks to whatever is in front of me. What does she do in this exact moment? Does she maybe like throw a blanket at over a chair to see if he's sitting somewhere?
I'll give a point for you. I like that idea.
Yeah. Obviously, like, doesn't have to, just something that like would stick. Water. I mean, anything would, I guess.
She crawls to the phone and calls someone. And she's listening and listening. And then she strangely looks up at the ceiling. And we hear vibrating in the ceiling above her. And then the voicemail picks up and says, "This is Adrian Griffith," or Griffin, whatever.
Right?
Cut to her pulling over her ladder to the attic. And so this attic is like,
He brought his fucking phone to his invisibility fucking parades? What the fuck? What do you fucking need a phone for, you loser? All right, keep going.
I agree. His invisibility parade.
What a fucking loser.
So this addict is
I'm sorry? This
attic.
what?
This attic. Is
Who
that
are you, Georgia Hardstark?
attic?
Attic.
Attic.
Yeah. ATTIC.
What am I saying?
See. You're saying like I'm addicted to drugs.
This attic
Yeah. Got it.
is barely a door. It's actually just a square hole in the ceiling that you just push the wood up into. So you really do need to like have the ladder to climb up. Like it's nothing pulls down. It's not a doorway or anything. It's just like a little hole that you climb into.
Oof. You got to have a pull down for your attics.
For real. So she pokes her head up with the flashlight and there's like attic stuff. It's like, you know, like the paint stuff from what he was using and like boxes and like different just like dusty attic shit. Right. She climbs up into it and calls him again. And kind of on the other side of the room, a phone lights up.
Fuck! I hate this.
She crawls to it and there's a phone and a pair of keys. And she picks up the phone and looks in it, and on it are pictures of her and Sydney sleeping.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, God damn it.
And then there's
I
also...
don't look cute when I'm sleeping.
You don't want your picture taken by nothing?
No.
Then there's also a knife, like that kitchen knife, in a plastic bag up there.
Okay.
And then also her architecture work.
Her architecture work. I fucking blew that interview because of this, you asshole.
Then the phone buzzes. It's a text message from an unknown number. And it says, surprise.
Fuck.
And she fucking looks behind her, grabs the knife, and crawls back to the opening. So now she's just like peeking her head down the hole into nothing. Question number 6. What does she do? What do you do?
I have the knife.
You've got a knife.
I'm taking the phone as well. I'm putting the phone into the knife bag. I'm getting my architecture stuff. I'm grabbing all the shits. Mainly his phone. And I'm going to take it to the La Polisa. What does she do? She's just looking down the hole, looking down the attic hole.
Yeah, at the ladder.
At the ladder. She's crawling, you said?
Yeah.
Can she not stand? Like, is that... I'm just trying to get a sense of the space.
I think it's a pointy top house. So, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So she probably maybe could... She's a little person. She could probably stand if she needed.
I think I'm going to go down and take the ladder away and, like, throw the ladder in the trash. And just be like, now you have to jump, bitch. And that'll probably be loud. But I'm also like, but she brings the knife as well. The end.
I'm very confused. You said a lot of I'ms and no she's. So I'm
okay.
Like, I understood your first answer.
Yeah. Okay. So she is going to jump down, take the ladder, throw the ladder in the trash, so that like, at the very least, he doesn't have like easy access to the fucking thing.
Point for you.
Okay.
Agreed. Seems like you have like a little bit of fucking hard evidence.
Yeah, exactly.
But she senses that maybe there's some more immediate danger, and she grabs a thing of paint and throws it down the hole, and a body shape appears. He's basically face to face with her.
Oh, and my God, that must have been so scary.
It was.
Oh my God.
He's standing on the ladder basically looking up at her.
Oh my God, that's so scary. I hate that.
So she jumps back and then slowly goes and looks back down. The ladder is now fallen over and there's like paint splattered everywhere. Poor James's house.
Poor James's house. That is... I mean, that's a bitch to clean up.
So now she like throws the knife down and like jumps down, and she starts to follow. There's like a little bit of like a paint drip here and there, kind of like traveling.
Yeah, so she can follow the trail.
So she follows the trail until it stops in the living room. And then she looks around with her like knife out, fucking looking around.
Yeah.
And then the water turns on in the kitchen.
Fuck.
And so now she like slowly goes towards it. And in the sink, it's kind of like white paint like all over it. And she turns off the water and she turns around. And then she's grabbed by the throat by nothing and lifted into the air. And then the knife's like knocked out of her hand. And she's pushed up against the wall and then thrown on the ground like something is like, I mean, nothing is on her basically, but she's struggling. And then she reaches into like one of the drawers, like she's just grabbing at like the drawer and pulls out like a frying pan and just like hits above her. And so she's like released and crawls free. And then she's
Why
like,
is his head still not covered in paint?
because he rinsed it off in the sink.
That was real fast. Okay, keep going.
So then she's thrown across the dining room and then the table's flipped over. She's like crawling and like clearly hurt now. And like then nothing grabs her hair and drags her. And she is like struggling and then like on the floor kind of next to like part of the kitchen thing. And she starts just like grabbing plates and like smashing them.
Yeah.
Over nothing. And then she runs to the door, goes outside, runs down the street. We actually see her like on like a street camera, just like running down the street. Like, and it's like nighttime now.
Right.
Question 7. What does she do? What do you do?
So was she still in James's house? Yes. She was still
She's
in
only in James's house.
Yeah, she's only in
We
James's
live
house.
in James's
Okay.
house. She doesn't have
But
a
I mean,
house.
like, where? I'm just confused as to like where he went. Do you know what I mean? Like, is he just like staying in a hotel or? I mean, Ketryn, I am going to find James, and I'm going to be like, listen.
How are you finding James?
I'm going to call him and be like, bro, come meet me somewhere like in the open. Like, you don't need to bring Sydney, like whatever, but like I need to talk to you. You're a detective. I need to talk to someone. Does she call? I wonder. She doesn't have a phone. Does she run to the police?
She does have a phone.
Oh, she does have a phone. Does she call the brother? I wonder if she calls the brother. She calls the brother. I'm calling James.
I'm going to give a half a point for you.
Okay.
It's a strong half point.
Okay.
Because like you're literally being currently attacked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And I think James will probably take some convincing. Like, I just don't know that, like...
I don't have time. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's more urgent than I was making it. Got it.
Yeah. She calls an Uber.
Oh. Okay. Oops.
She gets in and she's like, lock the doors. We need to go. Go, go, go. And then the Uber guy's like, oh, we're going to the beach. Long way from here.
She's going to the house.
Cut to them
Got it.
driving across the Golden Gate Bridge. She's at Adrian's house compound thing. And she asks the driver, like, you know, and she's like very intense. Like, he's like, are you okay? You know, and she's like, can you wait and then just bring me back to the city? She's like, I might be 2 minutes. I might be 20. And he's like, okay. So she gets to the house and she tries the security code. It works. So she goes in. She's walking through and it's like things are covered in sheets. Like the end of the hallway looks like a pretend ghost practically, you know?
Right.
It's like a decorative statue
Sure.
with a sheet on top of it. And
a pretend ghost.
and so, you know, the furniture is like all covered. And then Zeus comes in. And I was like,
babe.
okay, I was like, what the fuck? How is Zeus the dog just hanging out at the house here? Why isn't anyone taking care of him?
Like, I'd be like, the fact that this dog is still alive proves my point. Like, I'd be like, A, you're rescued. B, you prove my point.
Okay. Fair. I thought you would be more angry.
No, A, you're rescued. B, you prove my point. I
I
just got
was
to
like,
rescue an adorable, sweet dog.
The world thinks the world, so this man is dead and now this dog is just abandoned in this fucking compound home right now? What the fuck?
Well, it's only because when my uncle, like, they seize your animal. Like, your animal goes to a shelter. Like, when you
That's
die.
what I mean. Why is the dog has no one helped the dog?
Okay. Yes. I see what yes. Continue.
So she goes down into the science room. I think that they call that a laboratory.
A laboratory.
I
as the
prefer to
Brits
call it
say.
science room, but that's just me. I'm cool like that. I'm a scientist of many things.
You are. One of them is rooms.
No, that's your specialty.
That's my specialty, yeah.
So she boop boop beep beep boop boop goes to that fucking Westworld machine and tries a security code. Doesn't work. And then she's like thinking of different ones, and she says like the day we met, and she puts that in, and it works.
Oh, okay.
So she goes in, and it's this room with like that weird pole machine, and on the wall is like an iPad that's basically a selfie camera back like onto her and onto like the machine.
Okay.
And so she kind of like I don't know. So basically she hits like the like red button on like the kind of iPad thing, and then the machine kind of starts like turning on, doing its thing or whatever. And
Okay.
inside the machine, a fucking black bodysuit starts to become uninvisible.
What?
So nothing was
Like-
in there, and now we see that it was actually a mannequin with this like black bodysuit on it that has like little tiny cameras all over it. Like it's like
Right.
bloop, 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 bloop. So it's like little like
Okay.
circles all over it.
And is it like full like head,
Full,
face, everything?
entire everything, yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
So
No, thank you.
and so she starts to like pull it off, and then the dog barks and
Okay.
runs upstairs.
Because somebody is at the door, probably. Okay.
So cut to her upstairs, we are now upstairs, and the camera's just kind of moving through the house. She runs up, and she's holding the suit, and she goes to the giant room, the bedroom for clothes,
Okay.
and she closes the door, and again the camera's now like on nothing, and she's hides the suit in her little cubby hole, like behind the wall, basically.
I hear you.
And then she's now, the door is one of those doors that slide open.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what that's
Kim
called?
Kim is imitating a sliding door right now. Tell it. So if anyone, it was riveting. I'm sorry you couldn't see it.
If you don't want to know what a sliding door looks like, I just showed you. So she has like her back up against the wall, like right next to the door. The door is like next to her. And so the door slowly opens, and now she sees an imprint on the floor, like a foot imprint on the
Right.
floor right next to her.
Okay.
Question 7, what does she do? What do you do?
So the sliding door is where? Connecting what to what? It's dividing what from what?
The closet and the
room.
outside of the world.
Okay. That door is called a barn door, by the way, I think. Like, is it like on a pole and it slides? Yeah, barn door.
I mean, it's not on a pole. It's much fancier than that, but
Sure. It's not, we're not going for shabby chic in this place,
Excuse
but
me.
the mechanism is still the same.
it's
Got it.
similar. It's more, I would say it's probably more the ones where it goes into the wall and it has that little pokey thing to.
Oh yeah, that's
Which I think
that's
is called something
I
else.
actually think that's called an invisible door. I think that's called. I think it is
Postmortem.
Okay. So the footprint is outside of her closet room,
It's inside the closet room.
inside the closet room, after she's already put the suit into the cubby.
She is hiding against the wall. The door is directly next to her. So she's
Okay.
she's
I wish that I had it. So like the body, the invisible body, like she's hidden from it.
I would say it's stepping directly next to her. Like you're like against the wall as flat as can be, and the door is right next to you, and someone steps in.
I'm going to push the thing and run out of the closet and to the Uber. But I'm going to bring the dog with me to save the dog and to also be like, why the fuck do you think this dog is like well fed? Somebody is at that fucking house, and get the fuck out of there. I really wish I hadn't put that. So that's what she does. I wish that I hadn't put that suit into that cubby hole. I want that suit. But I guess we're going to do the same hand in hand because I can't get to that suit without whatever this invisible thing is not seeing me. Yay.
I'm going to give you 2 half points because you if you didn't take the dog, you would have got full points. But like again, immediate danger, I feel like it's like you need to get the fuck out of there.
I know. I just wanted to help the dog.
I want to help the dog too. I was mad that he was there.
I know. Okay.
But you're both dead if you stop for the dog. So she basically dives at nothing and then gets thrown out of the closet onto the floor. And then the dog starts like barking at nothing.
At nothing.
And so she runs out of the house. Cut to her in the Uber leaving.
Got it.
So the dog kind of like saves her even.
Yeah.
So now she's in the Uber. She's on the phone with someone and she says, meet me tonight if you can. If you can't, tell me because I have to call someone else because I don't think I have much time left.
Woof. Wow. Okay. I wonder if she called her sister or James. Okay.
And she's like, meet in like a public place. So cut to her in like a huge, loud restaurant, sitting at a table for 2, waiting for someone. And she, like, it's like everyone's like out having a good time. And she's like looking rough.
Right.
And then Sister Emily comes and sits down.
Okay.
At this point, the waiter comes up and he's like a little too much and a little too happy. That whole thing, like, oh, have you dined with us before? And like the sister's like kind of a bitch.
And you're like, read the room, bro.
Those restaurants force you to do that. So that's why I hate chain restaurants.
Yeah.
So Patron Saint of Music tells her, I love you. And just a bunch of different things. And she's like, you know, like you have like this like strength to you that is like so comforting, but also intimidating and kind of makes like a little joke, you know, but she's like, I need that strength and I need you to believe what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
And then the waiter comes
back.
Like,
I would have led with, I did not write that email. We'll get to that later, but I did not write that email. Keep going.
And then the waiter comes back to like pour them some water and they're like, goodbye.
Get out of here.
So Patron Saint of Music starts telling her, I went to the house and I found something that can prove what I'm experiencing and can prove that Adrian is stalking me. And it's like this suit with like cameras. And at that moment, Emily's sister kind of starts staring, but like to like the side of like Patron Saint of Music's face kind of.
Okay.
Like looking at something. And Patron Saint of Music is like, what? And then we see a giant kitchen knife floating in the air, slits Sister Emily's throat.
What?
Patron Saint of Music is like in shock. Her hand gets lifted up and the knife gets put in her hand. And she's just sitting there in like complete shock. So she's just sitting there like holding a knife.
Fuck me.
Sister Emily falls on the table. And then at that moment, people kind of start to look over and start screaming. And Patron Saint of Music is just like staring, like completely stunned. And it starts to get that like kind of just loud echo sound where it's just like, oh,
yes.
Like what's that? You know? And so she like gets up and like kind of starts like shaking and drops the knife and starts like crying and falls over.
Fuck. So with this, fuck. I don't know how to get out of this. Goodbye.
And then we see flashes of her like getting arrested and things like that. And then they're now dragging her like through the hallways of like clearly like a mental hospital into a room, and she's screaming and losing her mind. Like she's
Me
like,
too.
He did it. He killed her. Da, 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 da. And then she starts yelling at nothing in the room, and she's like, I see you. He's here. He's here.
Oh man, he looks real nuts. I mean, she looks real nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. So then they tie her down and like inject her with something, and she's just like staring in the room at nothing.
Yeah.
All the doctors and people leave, so she's alone. And then she's kind of like laying there, and like her breathing is like kind of like slowing, and she's like kind of like starting to lose consciousness. And then we just hear, surprise.
You fucking dick. I don't feel like he gets what surprises are. I hate this guy. Like, I'm just mad now. Like, I'm so pissed. What an asshole. Like, get a life, loser. Like, just get a fucking
Seriously,
life.
get a fucking life.
Wow. Okay.
Meat tenderized.
Tenderized.
So now she's talking to two detectives. It's James and then another detective. And the one we don't know, new detective guy, is like, so we have street camera video of you like running down the street. Like, this is you, right? And she's like, yeah. And then you fainted from diazepam. And she's like, I was drugged. And
She looks fucking nuts.
then you sent your sister an email saying that you wish she was dead.
I didn't send that. Okay.
And then she leans into James and she's like, I have something to prove that he's alive. And James is like, what? And she looks over in the corner and she's like, I can't tell you right now. He's listening. He's in the room.
Oh, God, she looks so crazy.
I know. So other detective person is like, so the person who killed your sister is in the room, but we can't see him. And James kind of like stops him at that point and he leaves. And so Patron Saint of Music says to James, like, tell me you don't think I did it. And he doesn't respond.
I mean, bitch, you look nuts. Kim, okay, this is another thing we need to figure out. How can we make sure that at least you and I know the other one isn't nuts?
I know we need like a bagels and cream cheese of not being nuts, but like
of not being nuts.
Even if you're nuts, you don't think you're nuts.
So you might say bagels and cream cheese,
right?
But like you're still nuts,
right?
Fuck.
That's a I don't. Oh, that's
but
a tough
also
one.
we do also live in each other's brains.
We do.
So like maybe we don't even need it. Like I could be like, listen, I'm in her brain. She's fucking nuts. We need to get her to a doctor. Or listen, I'm in her brain. There's an invisible man stalking her.
Right. Agreed. Yeah, we're just gonna have to climb inside our brains.
Yeah.
And get down to business.
Problem solved.
Great. Glad we figured that out.
Me too.
So Patron Saint of Music is like, I mean, I guess it kind of is my fault. Like, I brought him into her life. And James says, I shouldn't have left you alone. I failed you.
Oh, James.
I know.
James.
I
love you.
I love James.
He's incredible.
Marry me, James. So cut to later, and like a nurse or doctor or someone is like talking to her in her room and says that she is pregnant.
Oh, God damn it.
And they're like, didn't they tell you like when you got your blood test results done or whatever, you know? And she's like, no. And she's like, no, that can't be right. And the doctor's like, I mean, it's pretty recent, like sometime in the last month or so. And now she just
no. She's gonna have an invisible baby.
And now she just stares unwell, and it's just like the fucking like. No.
How did he get his invisible penis inside her without her knowing? The benzo. He drugged her. Was Sydney in the bed? When did he do this? I hate this. sucks.
So now, patron saint of music is pregnant with baby Jesus. And she's in like the Ketryn is what's the word for
I'm benzoed.
Catatonic.
That's the word. Oh God, I can't. I'm so upset.
She's benzoed and brain dead.
Oh God. Okay.
She's benzoed and nutsode. Crazy
Yeah.
brain benzoed.
I'm so bummed out about this. Okay.
So she's now in like probably the rec room or whatever, sitting at a table talking to lawyer brother. And basically she can't have money from the trust anymore because she's committed a crime and also is insane. So,
right.
and she says to him, you know, I used to feel sorry for you. A relative of a narcissist sociopath. I mean, just like a permanent punching bag. But now I see what you really are. You're just the jellyfish version of him. Everything but the spine.
Oh, damn!
Tenderized.
You just dropped all the mics. All the mics are just falling all over the floor. Oh, my God.
He leans in to her and kind of starts whispering and says, well, there is one other option, and this can all go away. Agree to have the baby and go back to him. You really think he didn't know that you were using birth control? He replaced them. He was always going to find you. And he needs you because you don't need him. But now that you're the mother of his child, it's time to stop all this. You can have a new life with him, just like your old life. All of this goes away in one phone call. Question number 8.
Piece of shit.
What does she do? What do you do?
I'm in the lawyer's office.
No, you're still in the mental hospital. You're
still
like in like the rec
hospital.
room or something.
Okay.
Because there's
I'm
like
going
a
to be
TV
like,
and like a couch, basically.
all right. I'm going to be like, give me a minute, jellyfish. And then I'm going to call a doctor over and be like, do a fucking DNA test of this baby. Because this has been longer than a month, no? Like from the time that
when she describes it, she says it's hard to tell the exact timing, but probably in the last month or two, basically.
Oh.
But she specifically says it's hard to tell, it's hard to tell exact time, like exact day of conceiving.
Well, my plan isn't working then. Because I was going to say, all we have to do is test to see that the fucking DNA, the father is Adrian while he was supposedly dead, and then blah, blah, blah. But okay.
But
I saw where I was going with that.
Yeah, I did. But I think technically it could be from when he was still alive, especially if he changed your birth control.
Okay. So I'm going to agree to it secretly. But then, like, he still is dead. He was pronounced dead. Like, there was an article in the paper from what I remember. Yes? So, like, it would be big news if he was suddenly like, surprise, just kidding, world. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to agree. I'm going to go back to the house like all is well. But I'm going to go into that closet. We're doing this hand in hand, by the way. But I'm going to go into that closet. I'm going to put that motherfucking suit on. And I'm going to suit the fuck up. And then I'm going to kill him invisibly. And be like, well, you're already dead. So bye. See ya. Goodbye forever. And then probably have an abortion.
I'll give a point for you.
Thank you.
Sure, let's try it.
Yeah.
She fucking stares at him with all her fucking inside feelings and then throws all the papers at him, like pushes them off the table. And she says, Adrian killed my sister and you helped him.
Sure.
And the brother's just kind of like kneels down and starts picking up the papers. And he's like, I don't need you to make a decision right now. Come back in 3 days. We'll be watching. And as he's like picking up all the papers, she kind of grabs a pen out of his briefcase.
Okay.
He leaves.
Smart. Okay.
And there's also now he's left, and there's like a paper on the table that, you know, says something, whatever, for the room. And it has that little putty sticky stuff underneath it that's like keeping it on there.
Yeah.
And so she grabs a little bit of like that little putty stuff.
Okay.
Well. And then she just stares straight ahead at the empty couch in front of her.
Oh, man.
Cut to now, it's pouring rain, like the most pouring rain in all of the pouring rain.
Okay.
She's in her room, and there's a nurse kind of checking everything, like looking under all the stuff, like being like, open your mouth, under your tongue, et cetera, et cetera. And they leave. And she now, so her room has like a shower in it, basically.
Okay.
But it's all pretty open. Like it's just like one room that happens to have like this little thing where you can turn the shower on. So she goes to the shower, and then she reaches up inside and grabs the pen that she had hidden up there with the little putty.
Got it.
Question number 9. What does she do? What do you do?
Oh my God, I have no idea. I can't figure out what she's trying to do with this pen and putty.
This pen and this putty, what you gonna do with it?
I don't know. I'll take the 0. I'm not sure.
No bells. She turns on the water and
Turns on the water.
says, you won't get the baby and you won't get me. And then
You won't
she
get the baby and you won't get me.
stabs her wrist and drags it down her arm. And then
Okay.
nothing grabs her arm and stops her. And she says, there you are.
Gotcha.
And then she
bitch.
stabs at nothing, and he starts flickering. Like she
Ooh,
probably
okay.
stabbed through the suit. So he starts kind of flickering in and out of invisibility, but just like kind of parts of him.
Okay.
And she stabs again and again like a fucking queen.
Stabs forever.
But he throws her onto the bed, and then a guard sees through the window. So he comes in, and Adrian's kind of like flickering in and out. And so the guard pulls out his taser, but Adrian like pushes the guard back, like nothing kind of still pushes him back. And then like turns the taser onto the guard. So he tases himself.
Shit. Okay.
And
Tases
so
himself.
he passes out.
Okay.
So now Patron Saint of Music runs out of the room and starts running down the hallway. But at this point, two guards come running from the other way, and they grab her and start dragging her back down the hallway to her room. And she's like, he's right there. Because now he's kind of back to being invisible again. And then nothing knocks both the cops out.
Fuck.
And then he kind of has a little flicker, but then more guards come from like the other direction. They're both knocked out. One like now like pulls out a gun, and she's like, he's right behind you. She's kind of like down the hall a little, like, and she's like, he's right behind you. And he's like, who? And the guard kind of starts looking around, and then the gun like basically gets moved and turns and shoots the guard in his own knee.
Fuck. Okay, but here's the thing. He's getting fucking sloppy because like now there's a whole ton of people that are like, hey, my hand moved to shoot myself in the knee. I wasn't into that. Okay.
And then the
Getting
guard
sloppy,
gets
bitch.
punched, and then 2 more guards come, and they're like, what the fuck? Because there's all these fucking knocked out guards in the fucking hallway now.
Right.
So they're a little wary, and they pull their guns, and one gets knocked out, the other gets punched, and then the gun just floats in the air and holds it up right in front of the guy, and we just hear a voice say, bang. But he drops the gun and leaves, and we see at the end of the hall the kind of like fire exit stairwell door opens.
And also, like, all of this is on camera. It's a medical hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Question number 10. What do you do? What does she do?
So he left, like the door banged
He
open.
went down the stairwell.
Okay, so I'm immediately going to be like, anyone else see that? Hey, guy that shot yourself in the leg, did you see that? Who's the crazy one now, assholes? Let's go get that security camera tape and let's get this done. Somebody go get that dog in the house. Together.
Point for you.
Great.
She grabs a gun and follows.
No, bitch, don't. That's wrong. Don't do that.
So she goes into the stairwell and like shoots at nothing.
No,
And
no,
then they
you're an
get
idiot.
to the front door and she sees that opening. So she runs through there and it's like, you know, the people at the front desk, she like holds the gun at them and she's like, blah, blah, blah. And so she runs out after him into the pouring, the most pouring rain.
I mean, she's going to be able to see him in the rain.
And now she shoots again at nothing and then is now like hiding in between cars in the
I'm
parking
so
lot.
angry. This was so stupid. He literally tried to get you alone and then he got you alone. You literally had an entire hospital of witnesses that saw it and you're going to run away from the witnesses? You're an insane person. Go back to the hospital.
So now we're moving through the cars with the guns. She's soaking wet. And we start to see that guards are coming out of the building with flashlights. And she's like looking around, looking under a car. And she looks and sees that a van has like the back door open. And she kind of looks, there's nothing inside. Bam! A flicker comes and starts choking her and pushes her up against an ambulance. And he says, "You think you're figuring out how to beat me? If you fight me, I won't hurt you. I'll hurt the ones you love. So you can blame yourself for that innocent girl's death."
Oh.
And she's like, "No, please." And then we hear a guard be like, "Show me your hands." And then nothing shoots him. Because
Nothing shoots him.
nothing
Right.
took the gun from Patron
From
Saint,
her. Yeah.
music. Yeah. And so now a flicker, he falls back and a flicker walks above him and kicks his gun away and then walks away.
Okay.
So now Patron Saint of Music again follows. She grabs that other gun that was left there and she sees like the gate to like the outside open. So she follows through there and then down the street, a car starts and starts driving directly at her. So she stands in the fucking street and shoots at it.
Okay.
It swerves but keeps driving, but it caused another car to swerve and hit a parked car. So that car is stopped there.
Okay.
Question 11. What does she do? What do you do?
I am going back to the hospital. Like, I'm not going to do this by myself. That's a bad idea. I'm going to go back to the hospital and I'm going to be like, I need help. There is an invisible man. 1 second. Let me explain. If you go to the security camera, you'll know that I'm not nuts. Let's all game plan together in a big, giant group and try to figure this out. What does she do? So the car kept driving but ran into another car. Did that stop the car?
Yeah.
Both cars? Okay, so she's going to go up to the car and she's going to just shoot into the car.
No, his car kept driving.
His car kept driving. That's what I was asking. Okay. I'm going to call James and I'm going to be like, James, go drive to, or like, let's go to the house.
How are you
let's
calling
go get
James?
Then I'm going back to the hospital. We're all going back to the hospital because I need the phone. I need the people. I need everything at the hospital. Goodbye. We're both going to the hospital to get various forms of help.
That's a half a point for you.
Okay.
I think that will keep you alive physically, but probably mentally
Dead.
Dead because Sydney would be killed And
but
you're a dead person. You would not be able to handle that.
right. But okay. All right. Okay.
And like even though all this happened, like going to the hospital, they're immediately going to like lock you down. You know what I mean? Like it's going to take some time for people to be like, yes.
And he's like on his way to kill her. Yeah. I see. Okay.
So I'm giving you a half point for that. If that
yeah, I hear you. I just feel like she's like not like okay.
She gets into that other car.
Okay.
She basically goes to it, has the gun, tells this guy to get the fuck out, and drives off. And he was on the phone with someone, and she's just like, he's fine, goodbye. And then she calls James, and he's at work, but she's home alone. And so she's like, you need to get to the house right now.
Okay.
So now we're at the house. The back door opens. Nothing walks through the dark house. Okay. And we see Sydney asleep in bed. And she wakes up and looks around, sees nothing, but feels concerned, clearly. Mm-hmm. What does she do? What do you do?
I'm going to go to Dad's room. She hides in bed.
It involves
like that thing.
Something that we've talked about before in this movie. Giving you a hint.
What have we talked about with Sydney? Does she try to reveal him by throwing a blanket on him?
Is that your final answer for both of you?
No, I went into Dad's room.
0 points.
Okay.
She grabs the pepper spray from her nightstand.
Her pepper spray. That's right. Okay.
And she sprays at nothing right in front of her. And then nothing stumbles back and like starts knocking stuff off her dresser.
Oh, basically. Shit.
So then she screams and runs, and she's like yanked back down onto the ground. And now at this moment outside, James pulls up and he goes in gun drawn, and she's being choked in the hallway.
Oh, because James was at work. That's right. Fuck. My quarantine brain. Like, I'm just like, I feel like a fucking goldfish. I'm literally like a goldfish trying to follow a story, but my memory only lasts 3 seconds.
Oh, you thought he was there. Yeah, no, he needs to get there.
No, he needed to get there. No, you totally said that. I completely missed it. It's fine.
I was confused. I was like, I think his room will be the same as her room, basically.
No, I was just like, it's as soon as you said like he pulls up, I was like, he wasn't even fucking there. Yeah, keep going.
It's okay. So I'm probably going to give you that 1/2 point from forever ago that I don't remember what it was for.
Yeah, I'm going to need it. My poor little goldfish brain.
It's okay, little goldfish. I'm going to give you a little 1/2 point.
Thank you.
You know your little bit of food? I'm going to give you a little bit of 1/2 point food. Good little goldfish. So he goes in, gun drawn. Fucking Sydney is on the floor in the hallway being choked.
Fuck.
And he's like, Sid. And then nothing knocks him over and knocks the gun out of his hand and then beats the fucking shit out of him.
No.
So Sydney's there like screaming. He gets punched like a whole bunch of times. Like literally nothing, like picks him up by the tie and then like hits him until he passes out.
Why is Adrian also like superhuman strength? Like,
know,
what
right?
the fuck? That's fucking weird. Like,
I don't know if the invisible suit also makes you the strongest man alive, because I'm gonna tell you right now that James could kick this fucker's ass.
Right. Like, I'm just like, you picked him up by the tie? Like, are you also 7'12"?
Well, he was on the ground.
Sure. Yeah, but I just like, it's, you know.
No, he just lifted his head a little bit with the tie. Like, come here. Boof.
Can I have some more goldfish food, please?
Here you go. Little sprinkles. Sprinkles.
I'm so hungry.
Okay. Well,
where am I?
at this point, okay, so he's knocked out, but this is like happening.
Right.
He's getting punched. Sydney's like at the end of the hallway screaming. Patron saint of music fucking comes in.
Okay.
What does she do? What do you do? It also involves something we've talked about in the movie before.
We've talked about pans. We've talked about paint. We've talked about blankets. We've talked about pepper spray. Paint. I'm going to go back to this paint. Does she throw paint on him to reveal himself? Reveal yourself! But he can like see her. Like she'd have to like put up the ladder, crawl up the thing, open the thing, go get some paint. Oh God. I'm so like I just want to go bananas. Like I just want to like throw. Okay, I'm gonna throw more coffee grounds at him. I just need to see him. I need to see him. I'm just gonna throw lots of things at him to reveal his position in the room.
That is what she does, but with what? It's okay if you want to do coffee grinds, but
I want to do coffee grounds.
Okay, both of you are doing that.
Yes. And then I'm gonna swim into my little goldfish castle and take a nap.
I'll give you half a point. I mean, I think they'll probably, hit him. You'll see him for like a second, and then they'll sprinkle off
And then
of
he'll
him.
move.
I feel like.
And then he'll move. I know.
Need something a little more sticky.
A little more sticky. I know.
She, out of nowhere, we don't even see her enter the house. She actually just comes to the hallway with the fire extinguisher.
The fire extinguisher. I was close when I said pans, and I was like, she starts throwing pans at him. Nope. What did she put the fire out with? A fire extinguisher. That's sticky. Got it.
She's like, yells to the other end of the hallway. She's like, Sydney, get down. And then she sprays into the hallway. So now he is like, parts of him have like the white on him. So then
I'm ashamed. You need a new survival partner.
Look, I love you. This hasn't been your best.
No,
I'm so sorry.
You have a goldfish for a partner.
We've been out for a couple weeks. There's an intricate dumpster fire around us. We're basically inside an intricate. Intricate. I really couldn't figure it out. I was like, I don't understand where the letters are supposed to go.
I saw you really short circuited. It was.
It's a short circuit. Intricate dumpster fire.
Oh God!
You're a teeny tiny goldfish in an intricate dumpster fire.
I really am. God.
So she sprays the fire extinguisher. Can see him now a little bit. At least see where he is basically, and then she fucking shoots him. Bam!
Okay.
Once. Bam! Twice. Bam!
Bam!
3 times. Bam! 4 times.
Hey, I also shot him 4 times, but it's because I forgot each of the times that I shot him. Had to shoot again.
Okay. So, yeah, you were like, I just throw coffee grounds.
Did I shoot? I don't know. Did I shoot? I don't know.
Coffee grounds and
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the end.
Yeah, that's it. No, at that point, I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to fucking have your kid, man. Let's just go. Just go hang out with the dog. Goodbye. Let's go.
So he gets all glitchy and like stumbles down the hallway and then falls down dead.
Okay. Got it.
And now the whole suit becomes revealed.
Okay.
Because it's been shot. So he has like 4 chest shots.
Right.
And so she pulls the mask off his head. It's the lawyer brother.
You fucking piece of shit. You jellyfish motherfucker. There's only room for one fish in this bowl, and it's me.
So he's dead.
Great. Goodbye.
Cut to
But now Adrian's still out there. Fuck.
the cops at Adrian's house, and they find him in like the basement behind like some wall that they had to like burst through, and he's like bound and tied up.
Oh. Okay.
So now we're at the police station. So it's James, patron saint of music, and Sydney. And James is basically explaining, so Adrian was a victim of his brother just like you were. And patron saint of music is like, no, that's not right.
No, that's not right.
She's like, Adrian did this to me. He's not the victim.
Adrian. Yeah.
And James is like, he was tied up in his basement. And she's like, he faked his own death. He can fake his own kidnapping.
Of course. Of course. I'm with you. I am with you 100%.
And he's like, okay, but I have Tom's body and that suit, you know, in my house that you shot to pieces. So if it did work, it doesn't now. So basically the invisible suit doesn't work because it got shot.
Right. But there's another suit. And also she was like, his brother was a sacrificial jellyfish.
But he says, we have stories from the guards at the hospital, et cetera, et cetera. So this is like your best shot at getting your freedom back.
Right. Right.
And she says, no,
No, it's not.
it's Tom's body. But Adrian did everything before that. And he set his own brother up.
Yes.
And James is like, dude, I know how this works. Like, you don't understand. And she's like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
This is what he does. He makes me feel like I'm the crazy one. This is what he does. And he's doing it again.
I'm with her. I'm with her 100%.
And James is like, okay, fine. But just keep it to yourself. My favorite saying. Keep it to yourself. Let me do my job and let me help you.
Okay, this is really triggering some of my control issues.
And she's like, as long as Adrian is around, you can't help me.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
So cut to later. Sydney and patron saint of music are in bed, and Sydney's asleep, and she's just watching Sydney sleep. And then she gets up in the dark and she calls someone, and it's a man. And he says, Cecilia, I'm so glad you called. Cut to patron saint of music walking down the path outside of Adrian's house.
Yep. I
she's
know where
like,
this bitch is going.
Wearing a dress, looking pretty.
Yep. She's ready to play ball.
And now for the first real time, to be honest, we actually see him like standing there. Like we kind of haven't be honest,
seen him,
like the whole time. Because it's all been just all over the place. It's fucking Luke from Haunting of Hill House.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
But
okay.
Looking like a rich douchebag.
Wow. I always found him pretty hot.
Yeah. Less so in this. So he smiles and he's like, wow, you look amazing. You always look amazing. And she's like, I don't feel amazing. It's all a lie.
This little manipulative asshole, like playing this sort of like awkward.
Just wait. Get on your donkey, Ketryn, 'cause here we go.
Oh, man.
So we go inside, and there's a long dining room table set, and it has a bunch of food on it, and like there's a place setting on like each end, basically.
Right.
And he's like, I wanted to get takeout, but then I was obsessing over like what you would want in food. And he's like, so, okay, we have sushi, steak, or pasta, or nothing at all.
You fucking manipulative little piece of fucking fish turd. You fucking little squiggly piece of fish turd.
He's a real scrote monster. So she says, I'll have steak. And we see now through the security camera, because remember, there's cameras all over the house.
Yeah.
See them sitting down at the table. So her back
Okay.
is kind of to the camera, and then it's like full view of him and the table.
Okay.
And he sits down, and his hand is kind of like shaking, and he's like, you're the only person in the world who gets to see my hand shake because I need you. And I know I didn't treat you the way you should have been treated, but I've learned my lesson, and I would burn everything I own just to prove that to you.
Great. Why don't you burn your own dick, motherfucker?
And she says, okay, if you want to be part of this child's life, let's start with honesty. Which means I need you to admit everything you did. You, not your brother. What you did. And he's like kind of upset. Like he's like, I love my brother. I thought that he loved me too, but Tom controlled me.
You
And
you
she says,
fucking
let me tell the story.
Sorry.
So she says, tell me the truth. I need to know that I'm not crazy. And we can, and because we can't start this again with a lie. And he's like, it wasn't me. I swear it. And she's like, just tell me the truth. And he's like, I am. And she's like, stop. I need you to do this for me. Cut to James in a car outside listening
To it.
She's wearing a wire.
Uh-huh.
And Adrian says, I'm telling you the truth. And now Patron Saint of Music starts crying. And so she's sitting at the table and he goes and like kneels down in front of her. And he says, I know you feel like you're going insane sometimes. I'm the only one who can help you. Remember, because I know you better than anyone else in the world. And he like looks at her and he says, and that shouldn't come as a surprise.
Oh, you fucking gaslighting piece of shit.
Question 14. What does she do? What do you do?
Oh, God. Oh, I'm so like, my rage is like, I want to. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I don't think this is the smartest thing to do, but I have to. I am going to just go full blown like Jean Grey and X-Men, like just flail and punch and scream and stab and just be like, James, like get in here, like we're killing this like I'm going to go fucking banana boats on this dude. That's probably not the smartest thing. It's probably going to end in my demise. I'll take it. But I'm gonna go out with a smile on my face. So in that way, I'll still be alive. I think she goes along with it. Like I think she goes like is just like, oh, thank you for being honest with me or whatever. Because I'm going to wait till he goes to sleep, and then then she's gonna put that fucking suit on, and she's gonna kill him invisibly. Oh, you gave me a point for going rage monster on him? That's very nice.
Because technically you would stay alive.
Yeah.
You'd go to jail.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that.
Be physically alive and mentally alive, to be honest.
Yeah.
So
like, I almost feel like jail would like be, I'd be like, cool. Yeah. Great.
Like, maybe not this, like, yeah, there's maybe smarter ways to go about it. But like, if the game is, are you alive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Point for you.
Thank you.
So she stares at him and she's like been crying and she's kind of like shaking. And she says, I should go clean myself up. So she walks to the bathroom and like cleans her face and takes some deep breaths. And now we see Adrian is back in his seat, just sitting at the table waiting.
Okay.
And then nothing holds his left arm down and then lifts his right hand with the steak knife in it to his throat and slits his own throat.
Yay!
And it's all on the security camera.
Yes, queen.
So he falls to the ground, and now Patron Saint of Music walks back in on the security camera and screams and runs to him and calls 911. And she's like, please help me. I don't know. He tried to kill himself. Hurry, help me. And James now hears this and fucking runs out of the car. And she's like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And she gives the address. And then she starts taking a couple steps, like, and Adrian's kind of like, blur, 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 like still alive kind of thing. You know, but like, blurbling. And she takes a couple steps backwards away from him. And she's like, please hurry. And then at the point where we can't see her in the security camera anymore, she hangs up the phone. Her face drops. And she kneels down in front of him and plainly looks at him dying and says, surprise.
Surprise. Ah, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God.
Meat tenderized victory.
She fucking meat tenderized his ball sack. That's amazing.
And he dies.
Good. Goodbye.
And we see the security camera, like you can't see her at all.
Right.
So now James is like running down the walkway towards the house of like the compound outside. And Patron Saint of Music is leaving the house. She's like in her jacket. She has a big bag with her and she has fucking Zeus the dog on a leash. Leaving.
Yay!
And James is like freaking out. And Patron Saint of Music is totally calm. And she's like, I'm okay. I'm okay. She's like, look at me. He killed himself. He cut his own throat. There's security camera footage of it. And he just stares at her. And then he looks down and sees like in her bag, there's little twitchy camera fucking things on a black something in there.
Yeah.
And he says, you never did want to get him admitting anything on tape, did you? And she says, of course I did. I just didn't know he was that unstable. You heard it though, right? What did it sound like to you? And he stares at her. And he says, sounded a lot like he killed himself.
Ha ha. So she also picks steak on purpose.
Yep. So
Smart.
she walks away up the steps, stops, and takes a deep breath. The end.
Nice work.
Slow clap.
Nice work.
Indeed.
Nice work. Slow clap to you. Slow clap to Elisabeth Moss. Slow clap to Hot James. Not so slow of a clap for my goldfish brain, but
yeah. I love that. I didn't totally get it until I was taking notes, but the moment that she decides to go clean her face is when he's sitting there talking to her and he's like, and that shouldn't come as a surprise. Like,
right.
That's the last word he says to her. And I was like,
yes. Yeah.
I will be honest, like in the movie, it was like a little like I wasn't totally sure until I thought back about it. I was like, no, because like just from the beginning when he like broke the fucking window, like clearly he was, you know what I mean? But it was like a little like, was this just like her being a fucking like sociopath killing him kind of thing? You know what I mean? But telling it back to you, like I could tell that it was going to be like,
no,
not
for
that.
sure.
But in the movie, I was like a little, at first I was like, wait. And then I had to like think about it because they don't like hit you over the head with it at all.
No. And also like, that's such an insidious like thing that sociopaths and abusers do is like, I even saw a tweet about it that was like, hey, all y'all that are like getting all mushy faced because some cops are kneeling with us, this is the same as like an abuser who comes out and gives you a big bouquet of flowers in front of all your friends so you look like the fucking asshole.
Exactly.
So like he probably knew she had a wire. I bet he knew she had a wire. And so he was like, everything that I say is going to be really demure, really awkward, so that she looks like a nut job. What he didn't know is that she had the other suit.
Exactly. So, yeah. And that just the whole thing of like believing women,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and people not.
Yeah.
And making them feel
That
crazy and gaslighting like crazy. I mean, just oof.
Yeah. That was this should have been called the gaslighting man for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. There.
So why don't you total up my 4 points? My 1, 2, 3, 4 points.
Hi, Sammys. So we heard a rumor that you're not signed up for our awesome Patreon yet.
What? Where are you getting your BoneCon then?
It's cool. It's fine. You can still subscribe. Just hit the link in the show notes or search for us on Patreon. We're right there.
We've got all kinds of BoneCon.
That's bonus content.
We've got mini-sodes, postmortems, and Q&As, all live streamed. Polls, prizes, merch, and just a general smorgasbord of KKSAM.
So join us.
Or else.
Okay. I'm so sorry. You're dead or
better.
alive, which is usually where you shine.
Yeah.
You got 2 out of 5.
Yeah. This was not my day.
This
was not my day.
goldfish brain today. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The questions out of 28, you got 13 and a half.
Ooh!
So out of 33 points, you got 15 and a half.
Oh my God. Wow. All right. Well, you know, I got there in the end.
Yeah. You did get the end part.
Yeah. I'm just going to... Coffee grounds. She throws coffee grounds. Pans. Hits him with first pans.
I just want that to be your weapon from now on. Just
Coffee
grounds. Coffee grounds.
I have like a little satchel on my belt and I'm just like, coffee ground.
I feel like I maybe would have even accepted wet coffee grounds.
I know, honestly.
To sploosh on him at least.
Yeah. Just to stick a little bit. Yeah, no, I'm... He literally just stands there and like lets them bounce off and then just moves 1 foot to the right. Well, I'm out of coffee grounds. Guess so.
You just have to like throw them with your gun arm raised at the same
Right?
time. So you can be like,
It was not my best plan. It's, you know.
This was very fun to do our thing again. I'm glad that
I love you so
back.
much.
I love you. Oh my.
Why is your traffic outside like so fucking aggressive?
Always like that. Gosh, you
Yeah.
should hear it with the door open.
God damn.
So, if you would, please follow us on social media at KKSAM Podcast. We still have an awesome Patreon where we do postmortems and talk about the movies afterwards, and then do Q&As, and you get to vote on stuff. And
We
there's
also
merch
have
and shit.
Yeah, there's really fun merch. We also have a brand new phone number that you can call.
Oh yes. Oh, we keep forgetting to talk
And-
about this.
Yeah, and
Please call it now, though.
yeah, like right now, like you're listening right now, turn off the podcast, call us. Oh, what's the number?
It's
Do you know the number?
On our
I'll keep
it's
talking
going to
while
be
you
on
look
our
for the number.
Instagram. So
Yeah.
you can go there at KKSAM Podcast. There'll be like a link, but also it is 323-451-5494. And I'll put it in the show
And-
notes too.
I'm not gonna say who leaves the message, but it's someone you've met before, and it's not me or Kim.
I forgot
It
that
has
was the message.
the little
the answering
greeting on
machine.
the message. So that's a fun little surprise for all y'all. But call us and tell us like your favorite episode, or something that made you laugh really hard and spit out your coffee, and just anything like that, and you may or may not be possibly featured in an upcoming episode.
Can we just say, so basically why you need to do it soon and now is because for our 100th episode, we would love to include some of those. So please call and leave like any of like anything we could like clip out of like a favorite moment or just something you love, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave your name unless
anyway.
you want to, like, but we would love to be able to use them on an episode. Coming up very fucking soon.
So fucking soon.
So basically leave your message today.
Yes.
Today is your deadline.
And
at least this week.
Yeah. And we love you so much.
So much.
Stay safe, stay home, wear a mask, wash your hands, Black Lives Matter. Keep trying to put out the intricate dumpster
believe
fire.
Women.
All that shit. We have a lot of work to do.
If you're a bad person, you get fired.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah. So this has been Kim and Kat Stay Alive.
Maybe.
So until next week,
Stay
alive.
Goodbye.
Ghosted me. I'm done.